Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to be installing a Unitronic Cold Air Intake on this 2007 Volkswagen Jetta Fahrenheit edition. So let's jump in. What we'll be doing is the factory intake system runs through this whole engine cover here. So we'll be removing that. The mass airflow sensor is bolted in right here, so we'll have to remove that. That goes into the new air intake system, which is right over here. So this is kind of the basic layout of how the air intake is going to go on. You have your coupler over here, which is going to go on to the turbo inlet, goes to the pipe comes over, goes to this elbow, which is going to connect to the heat shield, and then the air filter. Okay, so for the disassembly process, you're going to need a few tools. One, you're going to need some sort of pliers for getting the hose clamps off. These are a small pair of channel locks. I prefer those for taking off clamps like that. However, regular pliers may work. This particular sensor, the screws on it seem to be a little wallered out. A 3mm Allen wrench seems to fit them okay. So that's what we're going to use today. Your mileage may vary. There are fasteners to attach the ducting to the front of the car here. Those fasteners are a T25, so you'll need a T25 of some sort. I have a 1/4" drive bit with some various attachments and a small extension, and then I'm going to use an electric ratchet because I'm lazy. Four fasteners hold that ductwork onto the front of the car. And then the duct comes off in two pieces. For now, I'm just going to remove this electrical connector. I'll remove the map sensor later. Right now it's protected, so I'm just going to leave it in the intake tube. And there is one last hose clamp down here that holds the factory intake tube onto the turbo. There is a gasket on there apparently. I'm not sure if we will need that or not, so we'll hang on to it. Okay, so when working with your mass airflow sensor, it's important to realize that they do only go in one direction. Generally speaking, there's going to be some sort of little hole that the air will go in. So you just want to make sure you pay attention to how you take it out, put it back in the new intake the same way. This sensor was very clean when I took it out. I did go ahead and spray it off with some mass airflow sensor cleaner though, just while I had it out, why not? The fasteners that are on the Unitronic intake pipe are a 2.5mm button head cap screw. Good idea to not tighten the first one down. Get both screws started and in place before you tighten them down all the way. here, you're not trying to hold a Gorilla down or anything. You just want it to be nice and snug so it doesn't back out and the sensor doesn't fall out. Okay guys, so here is the turbo inlet. Next logical step is going to be to put the coupler that connects the turbo inlet to the intake pipe on. And then right over here, there's a grommet that we're going to need to remove, because the hardware kit that comes with the Unitronic kit has a new grommet that you will install, and then you'll pop the pipe on there, and then the grommet will go right in there, and that will secure it in place temporarily. So I'm going to go ahead and get that coupler on, and then I'll try to get some shots of me putting the pipe on, but the sunlight does wash this out quite a bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see much, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so the coupler is on the inlet of the turbo. This is the grommet right here that I was telling you guys about. It is a little stiff to get on there. I just used a flat blade screwdriver to kind of boss it on. And then I am putting the hose clamp up here, so that way I don't have to try to put it on the coupler and then bring it up. And you guys have worked with hose couplers before, I'm sure you know how they go. So let's just get this started in the coupler. And then I'm just going to work it down until we have the grommet in place. Make sure that we're on the coupler that's on the turbo, and then snake this clamp down around the heat shielding and the little wire that's here for the something. There, here we go. Obviously, you want to make sure that you have your hose clamp situated in such a way that you'll easily be able to tighten it down. A little bit of prior planning and fitment helps in that department. And I have my electric ratchet because, like I said before, I'm lazy. Nice and snug. Now, before I forget, I am going to connect the mass airflow sensor connector. And I do think maybe we'll get some zip ties and zip tie this to the electrical conduit here. Yeah, just to tidy it up a bit. All right, now next we're going to be moving over here where we're going to be installing the heat shield. Let me make sure you guys can see what we're doing. There is a threaded boss here, which The screw and washer you will use from the hardware kit goes in there. There is a bolt right over here. You will need to remove that. That is another mounting point for the air intake shield. And then one of the screws you took out from the factory shielding you will use to connect over to here. So I'm going to get that done, show you guys what it looks like afterwards. Okay guys, here is the heat shield all installed. Last thing we need to do is we've got a hose that connects the intake pipe here to the heat shield, and then of course we just have the air filter to put on. So I'm going to try to do all that on camera here real quick. So we'll do that and then we'll start it up and see if we've got any miles per gallon added. Yeah, always make sure you plan out where you're going to put your hose clamps, so that way they're the easiest possible thing to tighten down. You don't want to have to fight those things. This is a little bit of a snug fit here. Just rock it back and forth a little bit though. You'll get where you need to be. This clamp you'll want to put as close to this heat shield as you possibly can, because the flange that sticks out is not very large. Alright, we got nice solid connections. For the air filter. Oh, that one's bigger apparently. Here we go. All right, that is it. Well, let's go ahead and start her up and you guys caught that on the camera, but that's definitely going to be some good miles per gallon. Okay guys, well, hopefully that helped you out, or at least provided a little bit of entertainment for you. If you want to see any future videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Till next time.